Hello, this is Lisa Steinberg from Starry Constellation Magazine. I am joined by the star of Exo Kitty Season 2, Audrey Huynh.
Hi.
Such a pleasure to speak with you. I have watched all of Season 2. It was a fun, crazy, messy, typical kitty season, I guess I would say. Exo Kitty season.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
What your character is Stella, who we come to meet. Um, What kind of, I guess, breakdown or audition process did you get? Were you aware that this was for like Exo Kitty to begin with, for this kind of dual role that we'll get to see you?
Yeah, I did know it was for Exo Kitty, but I had no clue that this is where my character would end up. I literally got like a two-sentence character description when I got the first audition. So yeah, all of her character arc, all of that was just so unexpected, but really fun.
Well, then I guess when you kind of receive the breakdown or a further breakdown of the character, what kind of stood out to you about her, whether it's like an attitude, a personality trait, or kind of something about her development that we get to see this season?
You can always kind of tell that she had layers, that she was very like complex, that something was always just a little bit off about her, which was very intriguing. Um, and the sides that they gave me for the audition kind of reflected that, like it was like really kind of just creepy and weird. Um, so I
Ohio,
thought that that was very cool. Yeah.
Ohio weird.
Yeah,
For anyone who watches this interview and watch the season, you'll get that reference later.
definitely. The Ohio weirdo. Yeah.
When we do pick up with Exo Kitty season 2 and of course at Kiss, what kind of introduction to your character Stella do we receive?
Well, you first meet her and she is like barging into the dorm. She's Kitty, Yuri and Juliana's roommate. So very interesting little bunch of people. But yeah, she's just so like bubbly and innocent when we first meet her. It's really interesting to see like her progression as the season goes on. So
Yes, when we first meet her in the dorm, she makes quite the first impression, and of course, this is if anyone's going to be in this roommate dynamic, the three, which four, pardon me, the four of you make for quite a foursome, a unique foursome.
yeah, definitely.
And Kitty has promised to kind of focus on her studies this season, but it doesn't seem that her studies are exactly what become the focus, regardless. Anyway,
Definitely not. No, definitely not.
I mean, again, just like we talked about in the beginning, like a typical Kitty verse we have one expectation, or she has one expectation, and then the universe
Yeah.
comes into Kitty's orbit, kind of has a whole other for her, for sure.
Yeah, no, it's a fun season for sure. It's yeah.
Well, the series has such strong writing behind it, and it has really really strong production as well. What kind of would you say impressed you the most, I guess, about the team behind ExoKitty? I don't know if there's different people behind this season compared to last, or
I think most people were the same, but I honestly don't know. But just the scale of the production, just how many people were actually on set was so crazy. I hadn't worked on a set that was this large before. And I remember walking onto my first day of set and just seeing this like insane amount of people, and I was just floored at just how many people go into making this project happen. And it was so interesting. And I got to talking a lot to the writing team and the directors and the crew and all that. So it was really cool to see like their side of production and kind of how it works on their end. Because I only ever know being an actor. So just hearing about all of that was really, really interesting.
did it kind of guess, make you more interested in focusing a time in the future yourself as like a writer or part of production in any capacity?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like writing, um, or even like directing and producing would be so much fun to do like in the future. But right now it's just acting and I love it. So
Well, you do a phenomenal job on Exo Kitty season two. We give
thank
this
you.
great duality, like we talk about as well, to this character, Stella. I've got this great uh, innocent exterior. And like you talk about these great layers that we come to see, we kind of quickly learn that a little bit more than meets the eye when it comes to
Yeah.
what we get with Stella. How did you kind of decide then, or how did you really construct your portrayal of these two different portions of the character, or two different parts of these character that we'll come to see from the beginning of the arc till, of course, like mid-season to the last, where the shift sort of begins?
Yeah, I when I was getting the scripts, I had different highlighter colors actually, depending on which version of her I was playing. And it was a lot of just really looking at the script and like breaking her down to every little thing that was written, like every single word, how she phrased certain things or how she reacted to other people saying stuff. So it was a lot of collaboration with the writers and kind of hearing their vision for her. And just from an acting standpoint, kind of letting them know kind of where I thought the character would want to go or like how she would be received in like this like a different kind of way. And it was a lot of just back and forth with them. And they were very, very like adamant on her being this really crazy shifted character where like you would not recognize her from episode one to episode eight. And it was really cool just to hear their process behind writing her and being able to take her from their brains, I guess, to the screen. So yeah.
You have these really wonderful scenes with Anna Cathcart, who plays Kitty, and you're talking about like the shift in and the different highlights and things like, of her personality, your character Stella's personality, and the kind of shifting and all that. But you have these really great beats that you play so well with Anna's character, whether it's kind of like deadpan or whether it's like the specific delivery, because again, we talk about like the shift in the personality, and as Kitty kind of starts to learn a little bit more or find out a little bit more about Stella, the relationship evolves as we see. Can you talk a little bit about these great beats that we see between you and Anna, and how you kind of, the two of you, maybe, I don't know if you work together or you just kind of found this great rhythm that really plays so well between the two of you. I really loved these great scenes, like you guys have this great comedic delivery, but also this great like building tension that we get to see too.
Yeah, I adore Anna. She is such an amazing actress and she's so talented. She just makes it seem so authentic. And being able to be on screen with her and be her scene partner for a lot of things, it made like all of those beats that you were talking about just so organic. They just like happened because she's just so good at what she does. And yeah, no, just working with her was insane. I was a huge fan of Exo Kitty and to all the boys I've loved before. So kind of just being able to meet her and work with her was so fun. And now we're good friends. So she's amazing.
I just love it because it's everything that we feel like is kind of palpable between your characters, and hearing that it's like so organic is really amazing because the two of you, again, like you just play so well against each other that you feel like you're understanding like each person's perspective, but you're also kind of like what's building, what's building, and then the way that you kind of like barb
Yeah.
back and forth, and again, like this great like rhythm and beat that you guys provide together is just you just both are really outstanding. Very remarkable. I really
Thank
enjoyed
you.
it. Well, speaking of relationships, so Stella makes it a point to get close to Minho this season and kind of involving herself with um, the relationship between the two of them as well, just as much as her relationship with Minho. What can you tease are kind of Stella's motives when it comes to this relationship with Minho?
Ooh,
You want
it
to
was
keep it like,
very unexpected. Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't know that that this was gonna happen in this season when I first got the audition notice and like first got casted and everything. So like getting to read the scripts, I was like, oh, that's a thing that's happening. That's crazy. But working with Song too, he was so just I love him as a human being. He's so wonderful to work with. And he's such a great person. He was so easy to kind of be on screen with, and we spent a lot of time together, so we got pretty close. But he's very sweet. He's an insanely amazing actor. And yeah, all of those scenes with him were just so much fun. It was like, yeah, kind of the same thing with Anna. Like it all just became very just organic and came very easily.
I enjoyed the scenes because you sort of don't know specifically Stella's motivations, of course, in the beginning. You know, you kind of you get hints, but at the same time, do you feel like some of the parts of the relationship isn't just a motive? Like, are there parts where you feel like she really is protecting him or really kind of wanting, she does have like emotional, investment, I guess you would call it in
Yeah,
because,
no, definitely. Yeah,
it
I
does
think a
feel
lot of
well
the
done.
relationships, yeah. I think a lot of the relationships that she has with the other characters kind of became real. Um, Even if it kind of was fake at first. I think she definitely um had real feelings for him and for all of the other characters too. So it was cool to find that like middle ground and like find that balance when I was playing her.
I wish there was an opportunity like for them to kind of the characters to kind of like also get to know Stella more, like on a deeper level. Obviously, she was, keeping herself from that aspect, we come to find out.
Yeah.
But I also at this sort of same time wish, there was like a sort of a less surface level where they were actually able to like find a middle ground or maybe like find out a little bit more about Stella than it was just specifically what transpires, which we won't spoil.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be interesting to like see how she would react with some of the characters, like just without her being all like, ah, scary revenge plot. But like, I feel like that would be really funny just to see how she'd react with everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, she's got this group of roommates, and of course, she's, causing mischief for certain reasons and things like that. But it would be nice to have seen her, like, kind of develop another, like, type of friendship and have either the group dynamic kind of mix up that way or because, not necessarily just because of the grand scheme of it all.
Yeah.
You talked a little bit about working with Sang Hyun, who plays Minho. What were some of your kind of best moments, whether it was either on screen or off, getting to work with him?
He's just like such a funny person. He's like he really is his character. He's very similar to Mino in a lot of ways, and it was really funny um kind of being able to like interact with him in that way, especially on screen because a lot of it was so natural that it felt like we weren't necessarily doing like everything on like that was scripted. So like some of like the beats of us just in the background or us just talking about random things or like there's a scene in a classroom where I think we're like drawing in my journal and we're like reading things that other people have written in this like random journal the props team gave us. It was really funny. But yeah, no, we got very close because we spent a lot of time together and I'm so happy. He's amazing.
Well, since the series is filmed in South Korea, what were some of your favorite spots to frequent or locations to film and why?
Ooh, there were so many. We filmed in a lot of different places. I really liked the ski cabin in like the middle of the season. That was such a beautiful location. Um, and it was just like literally in the middle of the woods and like you had to like drive up a dirt road to get up. It was so cool. Um, yeah, no, and just being in Korea and like being immersed in that culture was so special to me just as someone who is Korean. And my mom also got to come with me, so being able to share that with her was really, really special.
Was like your own like personal EXO kitty moment getting to share with
Exactly.
your mom.
Yeah.
Family. Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. No, she had a lot of fun too. Yeah, it was great.
Do you have family over there still that you were able to like visit or?
Not close family. My grandma is from Korea and but I was like calling her all the time and I'm like, "Hey, mommy, guess where I went? Like, look at what I did." Like I was sending her pictures all the time and yeah, she was really happy that I got to go. She took me when I was younger, for the first time and literally since then I've been dying to go back. So yeah, it was cool that I got to be there again.
Quite the good reason to revisit.
Yeah.
For everyone getting to see the season coming up here shortly, when it's released, is there anything that you'd like to kind of say to fans to look out for, or what being a part of this series has kind of meant to you, having this great mark between, like you're talking about the books of all the boys we love and the Exo Kittyverse.
Yeah, I'm just so excited for the fans to see it. It's such a great season. Everyone in it is so talented, and the writers just absolutely blew it away. And I'm really excited for people to kind of receive it. And I'm totally going to be stalking social media just to see people's reactions. But yeah, no, I'm just so grateful for this project. And there's already been so much support for all of the new characters, and it's just so amazing to be part of such a welcoming fan base.
Are there any other projects that you have coming up? I mean, we just starting 2025, and it's a big year to start off in. Are there, besides of
Yeah.
the big Kitty season premiere, but are there any other projects we'll get to see you in here shortly as well?
Right now it's just promoting Kitty, just really getting this one out there. I'm working on some new music that's coming out pretty soon, so that'll this little personal project of mine. But yeah,
Oh, nice. Is it like an album, an EP,
an EP. Yeah, very exciting.
something that you've been working on like for a while now, or something, like something that we'll get to see here shortly you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm planning on releasing it next month. I've been working on it for ooh, a long time. But yeah. Yeah, I'm
Not to
excited
put
for
you on
people
the
to
spot
listen to
about it, but
it.
but yeah, I mean, we only sort of got like a short, small glimpse of your wonderful talents and singing abilities through the season two. So there's a lot to look forward to then, with the release of your EP. That's wonderful to hear.
Thank you.
Well, let me